Good morning. It is December 26th, and I'm continuing talking about my war in Angola in 1987, Operation Hooper. So I'm talking about the time between December the 20th and December 26, 27. What happened in those days, 1987, about 38 years ago. So on December the 20th, this time it was clear that there was no time for us to do any large scale attack on the enemy, on the FAPLA forces in the foreseeable future. And the only time that we may able to do those large scale attacks will be at the end of the year, the last week of 1987 towards the first week of 1988. And the reason for that is that we did not have all our forces in place where we need them to be, and we're still working on serviceability of all the equipment and the weapons. So we started on, the leader group started here on December the 21st with big scale planning for the big operation that we're going to attack the FAPLA forces towards Cuito Carnaval. Same day, December 21, we were given orders by the commander to move out, 6-1 mechanized infantry to move out to their assembly point, and 6-2 mechanized infantry, where I was involved, to move out to our assembly point. Now, back then, we couldn't move during the daytime because there was too many MiGs in the air, flying patrols, and we did not control the sky. The sky was controlled by the enemy forces. We did not have air superiority at all, so we could only move when there's full cloud cover during the day or at night. So we started moving in nighttime, December the 21st. That night we started moving towards our assembly point, and moving was slow because there's no roads, no nothing in Southeast Angola. We had to make roads where we go. That's what we started on moving. So in the morning of the 21st of December, there was a big convoy noticed, enemy convoy, for about 300 vehicles on their way to Cuito Carnaval, and they were at this stage about 25 miles or 25 kilometers west of the Longa, and they were moving that way. And back then, what the enemy forces will do, the enemy fighter jets will fly ahead of the convoy and bomb the route the convoy is going to travel on to prevent ambushes. But that morning, while they were still in place before the enemy planes was in the sky, the South African Air Force sent in 4 Mirage F1 AZs and attacked the convoy. Pretty much a successful attack. They attacked the entire length of the convoy. There was about 8 vehicles totally destroyed and a number of enemy forces killed in the attack. So then throughout the day, also on the 21st, the enemy artillery with their D30 guns started fighting on or firing on where they think are our positions. They missed quite a bit, but because they fired on us, our special forces in the area who was there for reconnaissance could see where they fire from, identify the targets, and we responded with G5 cannons, G5 guns, and we took them out. So those enemy guns that fired on us, they were destroyed by our people. The next morning, another attack was done on the December 22nd. The Air Force did another attack. The Air Force normally came in very early in the morning, first light, come in and then just attack targets of opportunity and so on. But then after that first attack, they need to be out of the area because then the enemy MiGs will be in the sky and they will remain in the sky all day long. So there's going to be about 50 or 60 sorties, enemy sorties in the air throughout a specific day, just to keep air support over their forces. So that convoy that was moving out, it was damaged. The rest of them kept on moving, and they were covered by their enemy planes, by MiG-23s and MiG-21s. That brought us to December the 23rd. The December the 23rd, that night of December the 21st, 23rd, we were still on our way to move to our assembly point. So it took us a couple of days to get there. to our assembled areas. And then we got into position at an area where we were lying and then wait there for the next order to get ready for combat, which will be in the last week of December. On the 23rd as well, December 23rd, this time the South African Mirage F1s was set out to attack an airfield at Baikulanga, and Baikulanga is not a full time. It's a smaller airfield, but the purpose of the attack was to make sure the enemy doesn't use that airfield to have a forward operating airfield for themselves. So this attack was successful. 4 Mirage F1s came in again and attacked that airfield, and then destroyed most of the airfield, runways as well, and so the airfield was not in use for some weeks after that. The enemy couldn't use that airfield. Then the days between December 24, 25, 26 was pretty quiet in terms of big fighting. There was just the regular day-to-day artillery targets of opportunity on the enemy, and the South African Air Force Mirages came in early in the morning and do some strikes, targets of opportunity, but pretty quiet. I can remember as we moved out during the daytime, we were just lying and wait for the evening to keep on driving. And that was the first time someone bombed us and, bombed me. And that was on Christmas Day, 1987. Two MiG-21s flew in and dropped 500-pound bombs on us. They came close, but not too close. We were lying on the one side of the hill. The bombs fell on the other side of the hill, so the shrapnel went over us, way over us. But they also opened fire with their 30mm cannons, and they got pretty close to our vehicle. But that was it. It was all for that day. So that's it. So they strafed us with their MiG, with their 30mm cannons, but pretty close to our vehicle. But that was the closest they ever came to us. And that was the first time in my life that someone shot at me to try to kill me. Rude awakening. We now knew we were in war. So that was it. The rest of the day it was quiet. The rest of the 26th of December was quiet. My next reporting will be between December 27 and the end of the year in 1987. Thank you.